What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So I just got back from personally my biggest movie of the year. The thing that I've been looking forward to for 2 years. Really since Force Awakens release. Obviously after seeing that, I really you want the next one. And damn, holy shit, what did I just watch? And this is a good thing. This is a good thing. This is not me going like, oh my god, like no. This is legit. I'm at the point here where I am struggling to put it all together for you guys. I really am. I need to go see this multiple times to figure it all out. So just to state this, just so for those of you watching maybe a few days later sort of thing. At the time of recording, I just got back from the premiere, okay? So I have only seen this once. I'm gonna see it a couple of times, for the next couple of days. I'm going to it pretty much, I think for the next 3 days, I'm going 3 times. So I'll probably do like a multi-view, sort of little discussion video as well. Just so, for those of you who, go and see it and want to kind of get in the nitty-gritty part of it. So bear with me here a little bit. So, as for this review, I'm going to do a non-spoiler, and trust me, this is very difficult to do for this film, because all the stuff is big spoiler stuff. So, I will do my absolute best to make it a non-spoiler review at the beginning, and then I'll give you guys a big warning to say we're going to spoiler section, and then for those who have seen it, only for those who have seen it, go and watch it. We'll do the spoiler stuff, okay? Alright. So, this movie, straight up, I'll say go and watch it. Go and watch it. If you're a Star Wars fan, what are you doing watching me? Go and watch it. Seriously. It takes right off from episode 7. Right off, like literally like on the dime. Kind of like the aftermath of what the Resistance did. There wasn't much time to party. There wasn't much time. Really, like, I think once Rey left, they were writing the shit after that. And I think, like, for a lot of people, they were hoping, like, oh my god, we're not going to get, like, an exact copy, like, kind of like what Force Awakens was with New Hope. Are we going to get a copy of Empire? No. I think they took Empire and, like, twisted it all and stuff, but they kept that, the bad guys are winning feeling to it. They really did. But for me personally, in the end, I don't think anyone won. And I'm not going to spoil what the reasons why, but I don't think anyone won. The stuff that we thought we knew, the stuff that we kind of like, okay, there's a couple options where this might go, who this might be, who that might be, and all the rest of it. All that went out the door. My, like, pre-show thing that I did, I was completely wrong on everything. I think everyone was completely wrong on everything. For those of you who pick some of this stuff, good on you. You're better than me, because all this stuff, like, a lot of it was just, wait, that happened? What, seriously? Like, it was, like, a lot of those scenes. There's a lot of stuff like that where you're just like, what just happened? Did that just happen? What, like, and this is not, like, confusion thing. It's just, like, a shock thing. Like, what? That type of, that feeling that you got. And that happened multiple times through the film. Multiple times. So, I'll say that we got some answers in this one. We definitely got some answers. There was stuff that we did not get answers to, which was a little bit annoying. It's not a major thing. Most of the major stuff got answered. But there is one big, gaping hole that kind of did not get answered, and we'll go into that in the spoiler section. But it doesn't ruin the film. This movie just, some of the scenes are absolutely amazing. They are fantastic. There are scenes that are just like, man, I want to watch that again. Man, that looks so good. Man, that looks like, the stuff they're doing is so cool. A lot of stuff where it was just like, this is a scene that we've wanted to happen for a long time, and it's finally happened. Stuff like that. this is definitely a movie where the old, the old crew, the old stars, and all the rest of it are passing that mantle on to the new guys. That's definitely something that's happening there. You can see it. And they do it in a good way. I feel like they do it in a good way. No one, I don't think, was really wasted. I think they did a lot of good things with, obviously, Luke Skywalker, Leia, and all that. I felt like they took them in directions which was very good. Leia is a very, what you'd expect out of a Leia character, but she has some big moments. She has some big moments, which I really love. A lot of moments that we've wanted out of Leia for a while. Especially one big one, which was a shocking one. Luke, they took in a direction that was interesting. It's not your typical, like, good legend sort of, old legend sort of good guy thing. They did some interesting things with him. I was quite happy with what they did there. But, I mean, overall, story-wise and all that, I felt they got a lot in. They go off a sort of 3 point of view type storyline. So kind of like what they did with Empire, where you had, Luke and Yoda and all that off on one side, and then you had Han and Leia off on there doing their thing. This time you had Rey and Luke off doing their thing, and then you had Poe and the Resistance doing something, and then you had Finn and Rose, who was a new character they brought in, doing their thing. So there was a bit of choppy changey, and that kind of affected the pacing a little bit too. There were times where I felt like, man, I wish they stuck a little more on one scene, but less on another. So in the end, it balances out well. But this is little nitpicky things, just little things. I felt like maybe it was a little bit like, man, I kind of wish they spent a little more time here and less in that one. But in the end, it's a pretty damn good time. But yeah, story wise, it all, it throws everything that we thought out the door. It throws all the things that we thought, okay, this is going to happen. This is who this is. This is who this is. This is who this is. This is what this is going to happen. This is what this happens and all this. Nope. They just, like, we're just going to do this. Oh, you thought this was protected? Nope. That's going to happen. Oh, no, that's going to happen. Plot ain't protecting that one. Nope. There was some crazy stuff. There was some crazy stuff, and I love it. They weren't afraid to do things like, I think Force Awakens, they had to do kind of safe, do something that people knew, do something that, they could, people could get behind and rejuvenate the fan base, get them all excited again, and bring in the new fan base, or maybe, fans that, didn't even deal with the prequels and only knew the originals. So they had a story that they all understood. This time, they're like, okay, you guys are all comfortable now? Let's shake it up a little bit. That's what this does. But definitely has some very, very intriguing storylines to come out of it. Massively intriguing. Like, it sets up 9 as a big, just like, I have no idea what's going to happen in 9. I have no idea. That's what I mean. Like, I have to see it more times just to kind of put it all together. So then I guess, like, acting wise and stuff like that, the cast is great. The cast was fantastic. I think everyone, has their, characters down pat. They all know the thing. Daisy Ridley's fantastic. Adam Driver, I mean, like, his Kylo grew on me. I didn't like him the first viewing of Force Awakens. I thought he was kind of whiny. I didn't really like him too much. He grew on me as a kind of like what I would have loved Anakin to be all the way through. Someone who's struggling with the balance in him. They continue that, but evolve it a little more, and keep him a little. They just sort of amp it up a little bit with him. So everyone did a fantastic job. I don't know if it was me, but with Luke, with Mark Hamill, I've heard Mark Hamill's voice so much, you know, with his voice acting stuff. Obviously, he's very famous for doing Joker. So, certain words he said kind of got a little Joker vibe. So, I was like, no, this is Luke. Go back to that, you know. But he did a fantastic job. He fit in perfectly. He had some really, really good scenes. It was very good. But yeah, everyone I thought had a good time. Really good showing. The new characters, we had Rose. I liked Rose. She was kind of a nice, lovable kind of new addition. She gets paired up with Finn. They kind of go on a little venture together. They have a nice little thing going. I like them. I like her. I think she's a good character to bring into this group. She's not a main person. She's like a normal, just everyday person in the galaxy. I think she was just a basic engineer who works on pipes on the main cruiser of the Resistance. So she's nothing special, and she kind of gets thrusted into things. So I liked her a lot. I thought she was a nice addition. We had Admiral Holdo, who was she comes in and plays the part. Really, for me with Holdo, she was she was a nice sort of supporting cast. She takes over at a time with, you know, certain stuff has happened. She's more of a bit of a, you know, person to go up against for Poe, just to keep Poe in check. Poe has some badass scenes, by the way, but he gets put, you know, into his place a lot in this film. A lot. You know, his, like, you know, gun-ho heroics, you know, so, you know, being a hero, ace pilot type, you know, casual type thing. He gets put in his place a lot in this by Leia, by multiple people. So, and Holdo's one of them. But she does have an amazing scene. Holdo has an amazing scene. A lot of these characters all have their big moments, and they all do really well, really well. And then you had DJ, which is Benicio del Toro's character, and his character's kind of been kept in the dark a little bit. I personally thought he was gonna be like this big, like, admiral, you know, sort of kind of like a Thrawn type character for some reason. I just assumed it was gonna be that way. No, he's a bit of a strange character. He kind of fills that scoundrel role in this film. But they did some stuff with his dialogue, which is a little weird. I couldn't understand him sometimes. He's not a character I clicked with at all. He's not in it too much, but he's not a character I clicked with. But yeah, it wasn't a character I was just like, oh yeah, I really like him. No, it's not someone that I'll really remember from Star Wars in any way. Yeah, I mean, all the newbies, they had a good go. Obviously, Finn and all that. Finn's Finn. You know, John Boyega does a good job. And then, obviously, you know, you got Phasma, Hux. All have solid roles there. So, it was good. It was very good. Then, I guess, like, visuals and stuff. This is a beautiful movie. Visual-wise, they have some just fantastic-looking scenes. And you can see, like, we ain't on no green screen here. We ain't on no green screen. We're on locations. We're doing this stuff properly. We're, you know, making physical props. We're doing a lot of stuff like that. Visually, fantastic. CGI is great. There is one character, by the way, and I can't tell you who it is because it's a big spoiler. Looks a little funky at the start. Looks a little funky. I don't know if it was the angle I was looking at in the theater, but looked a little funky. But when they started focusing on him a little more, came into better focus and ended up being a lot better. Kind of took me back a little bit. So it was good to see. It was good to see her see it come right. But yeah, CGI, all the rest of it's great. The droids are fantastic. BB-8 again is as funny as hell. Has great scenes. Not a bigger focus this time. Definitely off to the side a little bit. He's not with Rey, so they're not going to get that focus that he normally had. But he has some really good scenes. Really, really good scenes. But yeah, visually, you know, Canto Bight was fantastic. Has a lot of good things there. Ahch-To, which is the where Luke is on the island, not as uninhabited as we thought. There's porgs and there's some other stuff there too. They kind of show off who's around there, you know, who kind of takes care of that island and stuff like that. So that was a nice addition there. And then you had Crate, obviously, as well, with the crystal foxes and stuff like that. The crystal foxes looked amazing. I was surprised at how much they were actually in the film. I thought they were going to be a quick little blip that we saw in the trailer, and that was going to be it, but they actually played a little bit of a role, so that was nice. But yeah, definitely just a stunning film. Looked really, really good. Obviously the designs for the ships, the scale of this film. My God, does the First Order put the Empire to shame? The scale they build stuff at, the manpower, the materials, the things that they would have had to put into making these things. Like, you know, all we saw in Force Awakens was, you know, the First Order Star Destroyer and the Starkiller base, really, and, you know, TIE fighters and stuff like that. That was really all we saw. This time, it is fleets. It's a fleet, full-on fleet, and then some other things. And those other things are big. I need to see some scale comparisons to, like, you know, Super Star Destroyers and stuff like that. Because, my God. And just some of the stuff that they have is... How do you have that? How do you have that? How do you build that sort of thing? But, you know, you kind of got to remember what the First Order is. They're not something that's just popped up in a couple of years. They've been building really since the Republic came into power after the Empire got pushed out. You know, there's a small faction in that Senate that really wanted to go to a more imperial-like government, and then they started moving that way, and they grew from there. And now, obviously, they're just the First Order. But yeah, you can see, like, the amount of time that's been put in to those, you know, designs and stuff. Obviously, you know, you had those bombers that you saw in the trailer. They were quite cool because they felt like old sort of B-17 bomber sort of things. Like, they're very slow, don't maneuver very well, got turrets all over the place. They got bomb droppers and, you know, spotters and all the rest of it. It was, like, for a high-tech ship, it was kind of old school. It was a very old school ship. Like, dropping bombs in space. It was, like, obviously they're magnetic bombs, probably, but I don't know. It was an interesting seeing that one with the bombers. I actually kind of dug it. It was really good. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's very, very difficult for me to tell you guys exactly, you know, what the movie is like without spoiling it. Spoiler section will be big. It'll be a pretty decent section there. But again, do not watch it unless you've seen the movie. I'm telling you. Try to stay away from all spoilers. Try and stay away from them. Go in there with a fresh mind. Go in there without knowing anything. You know, obviously, you know the Star Wars stuff, but without knowing anything about this movie, and you'll have a good time. You'll be shocked at some of the stuff. You'll be shocked, which is very, very cool. It was a very, you know, cool thing because you're just sitting there going, "This is not supposed to happen. This is not supposed to happen. This is not what I thought." You know, that sort of stuff. I thought it was very good. This was very good. So overall, it's a great movie. It's great. Now, ranking-wise, like in the Star Wars rankings, honestly, I can't rank it yet. I need to see it more times to really understand it, because obviously I've watched the others tons of times. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched the originals. But like my current ranking, like without putting in 8, is Empire 1, New Hope, and then I actually put Force Awakens at 3. Mainly because, and it's really tight with Return of the Jedi, mainly because of the Ewok stuff. I always felt like that was the start of the decline with George Lucas. It really was. Like, that was the start. So, Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi, like, right there at 3 and 4. And then it's, like, the prequels, which is, like, 3. And then I actually put 1, then 2. Mainly because 2 has the cringy, you know, Padme and Anakin thing. and then 1 because of the Duel of Fate stuff. That's the only reason that gets above 2. So yeah, it was it's definitely not in that prequel era. It's not in that prequel line. No. This is up a lot further. I already know that. I just need a few more viewings just to kind of get my head around where, you know, certain things sit and, you know, pick apart a little bit and all that. Like I said, I'll probably do after a multi-viewing discussion thing where we might pick apart some stuff, really get into the nitty-gritty part of it, and then we'll see. We'll do like a post premiere thing maybe, or something like that. But yeah, go and see it. Go and see it. That's the review. Go and see it. That's all you need to know. It's all you need to know. If you've got any inkling of a Star Wars fan in you, if you're any inkling of a sci-fi fan or anything like that, go and see it. You guys know Star Wars. Star Wars has been around for years. So you know what it's about. This one, I swear, like, for me personally, it has a different feeling than all the others. It really does. It has an Empire-like feeling, but it's not the same. It's got its own thing. Definitely not like, you know, Force Awakens, where it had that New Hope feeling. This is on its own. It's on its own, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. But yeah, so go and watch it. Go and watch it. That's all you need to know. That's really it. But yeah. Alright guys, we are going into the spoiler section now. So, if you have not seen this film, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, but turn it off. Turn the video off now, please. I don't want to be that guy that spoils it for you. So please turn the video off now. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. You know, do the whole YouTube stuff. You know, the likes, you know, comments, all the rest of it. Yeah, you know how to use YouTube. And yeah, we're moving to spoiler section now. So if you have not seen the film, turn it off. Turn it off now, because spoilers are incoming. And if you know, once you know some of these spoilers, you might be shot. You'll be shot on this. So please, if you have not seen it, turn it off now. Okay? All right. So spoiler section incoming right now. Alrighty, so welcome to the spoiler section. Again, a warning, you know, obviously, if you have not seen it, turn it off now. I'm telling you. The Kiwi's out. The Kiwi's out. That way. That way. So, you know, now you know. Right. The big stuff. The big stuff. The big whoa moments. So, I think, for me, like, we'll start off with the one where, like, I'm kind of having a problem with, which is Snoke. So Snoke's dead. Well, potentially dead. We don't know if he's dead or not. Like, we still have no idea what the heck Snoke is. We started seeing, like, bits of his power, like how powerful he is, and he is very powerful. Like, he has, you know, like, you know, Vader could force choke from, you know, ship to ship in the same fleet. This guy could, you know, like, smash a guy on the ground, like, with using the Force from another part of the galaxy. Like, it wasn't even the same system. You know, that sort of stuff. Like, that's next level stuff right there. And I mean, he has, you know, we even saw a little bit of Force lightning. He sort of just like shocked, sort of Force shocked, sort of push Kylo into the ground. And then he was just flinging, you know, just sitting in the seat casually, flinging Rey around the room like it was nothing. Absolutely nothing. It just, dude, I don't know what Snoke is. Like, Kylo kills him, like, does the whole, like, you know, sneaky, like, turn the thing, like, you think I'm gonna kill her, but I'm gonna kill you. In that scene, I would have liked if we had not seen that lightsaber change. I would love to have seen it just, like, you know, you just see Kylo putting the thing up to Rey's chest, and, like, they're about to push the button, and then suddenly, and then he dies, like, without knowing that that lightsaber's moving. That would have been, it would have been a little bit better. But this was like, wait, what? You just killed Snoke. Like, but we don't even know who he is yet. Like, what is he? Where did he come from? What does he do? Like, Is he Plagueis? Is he, you know, a clone of thing? But seeing him in person, like seeing him actually as a thing, he looks very alien. Like doesn't look human, or he looks like a mix of human with a bit of alien. He doesn't look right. He's like, his hands are very big. He's taller than I thought he would be. I don't know. He was a little different, a little strange there. For me personally, like Snoke as a character through this, he lost a little bit of his intimidation, like kind of like, you know, being so big in the holograms and stuff like that. He kind of had that, you know, sense of, you know, power to him. This though, he's just chillaxing in the chair, sort of like flinging people around and stuff like that. He didn't have that same mystique, but I still would have liked to have known who the heck he was. Now, is he actually dead? That's the question. Like, is he dead? I mean, this one might be dead, but he could well be a clone. So then another one comes out and takes over, and like Kylo, you know, he's taken the mantle of Supreme Leader and all the rest of it, taking over the First Order, and there's Snoke again. Like, or is Snoke an entity that cannot be killed? Like, he just appears again, or he regenerates, or he could just be dead. He could just be dead, and we'll get some answers somewhere along the lines, and that'll be it. I don't know. I don't know. He is literally the black hole in Star Wars. We just don't know what he is. And now that he's dead, what do you do? Like, what do you do with that? But that lightsaber battle after that, holy shit! And those guys, that's what the Knights of Ren are turned into. Those sort of, you know, Imperial Guard-like guys. That's what I think the Knights of Ren have turned into. They were badass, by the way. Like, those weapons and stuff with, like, kind of like a lightsaber, like, you know, blade thing to it. You know, the weapons all going out and stuff. It was like they took all the flashy nonsense out of the prequel stuff, like the spinning for 5 minutes without hitting them, and then combined it with the you know, the very simple lightsaber stuff from the originals, and they made this, and it was real good. Real good. Like, Rey dropping the lightsaber, ducking under, grabbing it, swinging it around, cutting the guys down. There was no hesitation to killing those guys at all. I dug that a lot. I was like, sweet. No goody two-shoes Jedis here, man. Let's get into it. Let's cut them up. Let's go. Like, it was really good. That was fantastic. Then I guess, like, you get into the Rey and Kylo stuff. And that whole link that they had that Snoke said he did. There was a bit of a lasting effect there because they saw a little bit of each other at the end, one of the end scenes there. Rey basically being told that she is no one, that her parents were junkers, and that she was just sold off for drinking money. Do I believe that? That's the thing. Like, do we think that's just a fake story kind of put out there? That it's like a implanted memory put into her thing that Kylo saw and just did it. And that's what she thinks, and that's what Kylo thinks is real. I'm kind of hoping it is. But in a way, though, it would be kind of nice that Rey is just Rey. That she's just no one's daughter, no one's, you know, kid. It's just Rey. I don't know. I just, to have a character like this, who was drawn to Luke, like Luke's lightsaber, to have no connection to the light, and to have a connection with Kylo in that way, to have no Skywalker in them at all, I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. I mean, either way, if they want to stick with the she's no one and she's just her own character now, and she's gonna go off and do her own stuff, and she's, you know, not linked to Luke, and she's not linked to Leia, and she's all this stuff, that's cool. I don't mind that. But that might be a little like, hey, you thought she was actually no one. Hey, look, she's actually this person. Or this is this someone. Like, because she's still, like, such a damn natural at this, man. I'm kind of still sticking to my theory that she was trained and that her mind's been wiped. Like, I want to believe that. I want to. But if they want to stick with the whole, like, she's no one, I wouldn't be angry at that. I wouldn't be angry. And then the Kylo stuff. Now that he's, like, the supreme leader, and he's a little unhinged, I do worry about him being the #1 villain. Do I think Kylo can actually be the #1 villain? Like, I mean, he is the #1 villain, but he's always had that support of Snoke. It's like Vader, right? Vader's great. Everyone loves Vader. He's the favorite villain of everyone. But he always had the Emperor behind him. He always had that Emperor there. So he's always could be that enforcer. He could always be that guy on the ground. He didn't have to be the guy. He could always just be Vader and not have to worry about, you know, being the like, I am the big, you know, planning villain guy. Like, he didn't have to be that. But now, if Snoke is actually dead, Kylo has to step into that big bad spot. Unless they bring someone new in. Or, like, Snoke was just, like, this precursor for someone bigger to come along. I don't know. But I don't know if Kylo can do that. I don't know if Kylo can carry that. Can be the leader of the First Order and be the big bad for Rey to go up against and all that. I struggle to see that. But, I mean, it all played out very cool. Like I like the way it all played out. It's just, for the next one, I worry a little bit. Like, in this movie, it all works. But if it's all gonna hinge on Kylo, I worry. I do worry about that. Because now he's sort of been thrusted from apprentice to master, and I don't think he's at master level yet. Like, I mean, we saw that, like, with him with the whole Luke scene. My god, that Luke scene. So then we'll get into Luke, I guess. We'll start off with the first scene that we see him at. Right after, like, you know, episode 7, the whole handing of the thing. And we think it's going to be a real emotional scene. No. Boop. Throw it away. Oh, you brought that back? Boop. Bye. Get off my island. You know, he's just a grumpy old man. He's a grumpy old man. He's just like, get off my lawn, sort of thing. I mean, Luke's been through some shit. He's been through some shit. He is, like, he feels like he's just ruined his nephew. Like, you know, he can't go back to Leia because he feels like he ruined Ben. Like, that's what he thinks. Like, if I hadn't trained Ben, he wouldn't be the way he is. So that stuff, you know, I can understand. And, like, him cutting himself off from the Force. He's like, nope, I have not, you know, access to Force and everything. I'm cut myself off from it. So, you know, that, to go that far, you know, shows how much, you know, he really got affected by losing all of his students and stuff like that. The flashback scenes for that, I would have liked a little more. Like, we had the multi-perspective, like, you had Luke's interpretation of him just going to his room, and then, you know, Ben, you know, pulled it down, and then, you know, Ben's, you know, interpretation was like, you know, evil Luke, you know, with the eyes and all the rest of it, like, looking real, like, dark side-like, and just, like, swinging at him. And then it was, like, the actual truth, which is a mixture of both. But it cuts out, like, it just shows the wreckage, you know, it just shows the scene of him, like, with his hand on, thing. I would have liked to have seen that scene play out. Like, you know, what did Kylo do? Did he just go around killing everything? I don't understand that. How did Snoke infect him? How did Snoke get, you know, get his hands, like manipulate him that way? Like, he's obviously talked to Snoke in some way. How did he do that? Like, there's still all these questions that we have no idea. No idea. And then obviously Luke with training Rey and all that. I think he was shocked at how he was shocked at how powerful she was, but how willing she was to go to the dark side. She was like hearing the dark side, feels it. She's like, oh, go that way. You know, there was no hesitation, and I think he was shocked by that. Like, whoa, you know, Jedis and all that normally resist that stuff. You just dive right into it, but doesn't seem to affect you all that much. Because you want to know why? Because she's a balanced person who wasn't taken from their parents at a young age and taught to like suppress all their emotions. You know, you would think Luke would be more this way because he grew up and he was late at being trained and all the rest of it. So you would think, you know, he would have been that way a little bit, but this is like the new school Jedi where it's like, yeah, no, we're not gonna, you know, all that teaching. And I mean, there's even that scene with Yoda where it's like, the Jedi Order's done. We were garbage. And even Luke said that, like, it was all, you know, they let Palpatine come in and just take over. You know, at the height of their power, they had thousands of Jedi. They had all the knowledge in the world, and they still the Empire still came in and still killed them all. You know, I think this is the moment where Star Wars has gotten to the point where they're just like, we're done with the old Jedi Order now. We're done with it. We're done with the light and the dark. We're done with all that stuff. We're gonna have like the bad guys. We're gonna have the good guys, but the good guys are gonna be able to, you know, delve into some dark stuff, and the bad guys are gonna be able to dive into some light stuff without, you know, affecting the characters too much. It's okay. You know, Rey can cut some guys down and she won't turn into a dark Jedi. You know, it's just not gonna happen. So I do think the gray Jedi stuff is still on the table. I really do. I think that gray stuff's still on the table. Be interesting to see how 9 comes out with that. I think that would be good. So the training stuff with her was good. Obviously that mirror thing was a bit of a weird thing. I don't know if that was like a Sith trap or something, but she again, she's like a natural that can just solve it all. So I hope they explain that by the end of this trilogy. I really do. We need answers to that. Like, how is Rey so good at this stuff? And you can't tell me she's just no one. That's the thing. Like, the no one thing, I just can't really believe that. So yeah, like, continue on with Luke. For me, like, the big thing with Luke, though, was, like, the end. You know, where he shows up on Crate, all cleaned up and all the rest of it, and then goes out to face Kylo and whips out his old lightsaber. I was like, wait, where did that come from? How do you have that? Like, okay, I don't think this is real. Like, that was a bit of a problem for me. And then Kylo just blasting him, like, with all the things and stuff. And then, like, Luke just standing there and goes, meh, whatever, bro. Like, that was fantastic. It was really good. And then the little fight with them, which is really, like, Luke just, like sort of whipping him around and stuff. But you kind of saw how powerful Luke was. Like, his last hurrah, really, as a live Jedi, was being able to project himself, you know, for everyone to see. This is like a not a physical one, but I mean, he kissed Leia on the head. I don't know if Leia knew that he was or not, but in everyone's minds, they all believed that he was real. But this was a projection that he put, like, from maybe the other side of the galaxy, for all we know. But I mean, it did cost him his life, but that was still cool as hell. I mean, this is the good part with what they're doing with the Force now, which is, it's a mystical, you know, unknown thing again, where there's they're doing these things, like, you know, binding two minds together, you know, so they see each other and they can have these conversations and stuff. Then also having, you know, Luke projecting himself like that. Yoda calling lightning down and burning the tree. This stuff, like, they've gone away from, like, oh yeah, we've got force pushes and, you know, everyone has force lightning and all this stuff. Like, they've gone away from that and, you know, add a little bit of a mystical element back to it, which I really do like. But yeah, and then Luke's dead. Well, he's gonna be a force, a force ghost. You know that. Like, I would love to see, even, I want an Obi-Wan. Like, Ewan McGregor obviously would have to do it, but, Ewan McGregor, and then obviously you have, Mark and all that. Like, have the three, like, Yoda, Luke, and Obi-Wan. That'd be a nice little group there. I don't know if you want to bring Anakin into it. Do you want to bring, I don't know if you'd probably bring Hayden Christensen into it. I don't know if they want to do that. I think 3's enough. You do the 3, or even just 2 with Obi-Wan and thing. But I think they'll help Rey's training from now on. Like they'll come to her that way. Mark Hamill's not done with Star Wars, not yet, but almost. I think Episode 9 will be the final. I don't know that for sure, by the way. There's probably news articles saying that he is done, but like I don't know for sure. But I believe that he will be back as a Force Ghost in the next one. Now I guess it's like the other guys. The non-Jedi related, the Resistance guys, Poe, Finn, Rose, and all that. Poe, Finn, and Rose, they just made things harder for the Resistance. They just made things harder. Like, that whole thing on Crate would never have happened if they had just stayed on the ship, got on the transports, followed Admiral Holdo's, things, the orders that she said, gone to Crate, got the message out, and they would all been safe. But no, yet again, plans with Finn and all that related to it go to shit, and it all goes to hell. So I guess first up we gotta talk about Leia. We gotta talk about Leia with these guys. The moment when that bridge exploded and she got sucked out the thing, I'm like, wait, what? She's dead? But she has other scenes. We've seen them. Did they reshoot this? Did they like, this is where they're gonna kill her thing off? She finally has her big Force moment, like when she like, she's controlling the Force, and it's probably the most impressive out of all of the things that we've seen. Like, this is not just moving rocks or like pulling stuff to her rest of it. She's out in the vacuum of space, and she's able to push herself, like, I don't know, protect herself in some way with the Force. Like, I think you see like the particles and stuff that move around her. Protect herself, push herself back into the bridge that just exploded, and get back to the ship. That was badass. That was badass. That was the badass Force Leia moment that we have been wanting for a long time. And we finally got it. And it was cool as hell. Oh, that was great. I was just glad she wasn't dead. That was the biggest thing for me. Poe, then I guess, with the rest with Leia, apart from her just shooting Poe, first of all chewing him out, then shooting Poe, and then, her nice little thing one-on-one with Luke, which was nice. I would have liked, and maybe they've got enough footage there to do something with Kylo. I need to see Kylo and Leia meet back up again. Because she, like, full-on said, I know my son's lost. Luke, you can kill him, sort of thing. Like, she literally gave the permission that, like, yeah, Luke, I believe that Ben's lost. There's no hope in him. So, I don't know if there's enough footage for them to do anything with that. I would love to see Kylo meet his mom again. Like, actually meet face to face. I was hoping that was going to happen. I thought, Leia was going to go, no, I'm going to stay back. I'm going to talk to Kylo. I'm going to talk to my son. And I'm going to solve this. But no. They, they keeping that, like, maybe away, or they will not happen. Which would be a bit of a shame. I think it would be nice to see Kylo, who is still very unhinged, kind of go up against the one person I don't think he could ever kill. I don't think he can kill his mom. And you saw that in the you know, when he was in his fighter, he's like, nah, I can't do it. But then the other TIE fighter shot anyway. So yeah, Leia, I felt like she had her moments through this movie, and it was, you know, she was down for a lot of it, you know, when she, you know, she was in a coma and stuff, but I like what she did. I like what she did. What she did very well. And I love Leia. I think Leia's a really cool character. Now I guess we get into like the three misfits that freaking mess everything up. Poe. Poe had a badass scene at the start, just rips through, you know, he had that booster scene, and then, you know, zips through, kills all the turrets and stuff, and then leaves basically a suicide mission for all those bombers, which were badass, by the way. I love those bombers. They look like old B-17 bomber sort of things, but on their sides, and, you know, the whole thing. I love that. But, you know, she chewed him out. He's like, yo, we did it. We took down a dreadnought. It was really cool. Like, we did that. She's like, no. We have very finite resources. You just threw away our bomber squadron. You just threw it away. Why should I, you know, say, yay, good on you, Poe? Like, no. No. Yeah, and like, all throughout this film, Poe has these ideas, and they're all wrong. They're all wrong. He does a mutiny, which Leia just shows up and goes, yeah, no, none of that. Boop, stuns him. I love that. That was great. Yeah, just like, he had his badass moment in the X-Wing, and then when he's in the sledder, like the skiff sort of sledder thing, I think he's like, he's like, no, we can't throw our guys away here. Everyone break off. We'll deal with this another way. You know, fight another day sort of thing. We got to protect our people, protect our pilots. Let's get everyone out of here. So yeah, his stuff he did was good. It's just everything that he did equated to nothing. It just made stuff worse. Like, just worse and worse and worse. The only thing, like, good he did was, like, wait, listen, the crystal foxes aren't here no more. Follow him. You know, that was really it. And then a kind of an interesting little meetup, because I thought they would have met when Rey got back from Starkiller Base. I guess he was so fussed over Finn that Poe and Rey never really talked in any way. But they had like a little like, hey, what's up? I'm Poe. It's like, oh yeah, I'm Rey. I know. You know, they had that little moment there. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, like, Poe just, he was a little bit of a misfit in this one. He had his badass moment, and then that was it. Finn and Rose, we'll put those two together, because I think they had their little adventure. And I like what they're doing with Finn and Rose. I think that's quite a nice little matchup there. I don't think we need to see a Finn and Rey like little love thing. I don't think that needs to happen. But a little Finn and Rose off over to the side, I think that would be nice. I think, you know, Rose is a nice girl for Finn, and you know, and Finn has some good moments in this movie. I think he didn't get his ass kicked as much. He had his, you know, typical like, oh my god, look at this, oh my god, look at that. Yeah, he was, you know, the likable thing, and then he tried to have his heroic moment at the end and sort of self-sacrifice by throwing his little speeder into the like Death Star / heat gun thing that destroyed the big gate on the Rebel base. But like, he had some good moments. The fight with Phasma, I thought was really good. That was a fight that needed to happen in the last one. Instead of the traitor stormtrooper, it should have been Phasma. So Phasma actually had something to do. I liked it. But yeah, like I said, like, everything that those three did equated to nothing. It made it worse. And yeah, like I said with Rose, just a nice supporting character to come in, very likable. I liked her a lot. And the whole thing with her sister and that being in that bomber, it was a nice tie-in there. Gave her a bit of backstory there that helped her character, you know, come in with the main ones pretty quickly. The whole stuff with Canto Bight with those guys, very cool. I liked it. Yeah. Finn was good. Finn was good. And yeah, I mean, I think just the overall Resistance storyline there, where they're just running from the massive... I don't know if that's the Eclipse. I don't know if that's the Eclipse. I don't think Eclipse was a giant wing of the ship. So I don't think that was the Eclipse. But it was badass. It was badass. But them just constantly running away. Like, with the First Order not like, yo, let's jump some ships out, jump around the system, and then jump in front. Like, that must be a thing, right? You can't just have a ship that's constantly moving away from you, and they're like, yeah, no, we'll just keep chasing them. That whole thing did not make sense to me. I'm like, are they really just gonna keep running away? And like, it put a little bit of, you know, stakes on the things that, you know, that was happening. Like, oh, you know, they're running out of fuel. It's like, they keep going. Oh, the ship, that you know, that support ship's gone now. That support ship's gone now. It's just the cruiser and stuff like that. But, like, there must have been something that the First Order could have done, like, to jump ships in front of it. Surely. That can't have been the only fleet that they had. So, I don't know about that. I don't know about that whole story thing there. It didn't ruin the movie for me in any way. I was just like, there must have been something else that you could have done with the Resistance stuff there. Like, let them get away, and then let Hux and Phasma find them while Snoke and Kylo are off doing other things. Like, that was really should have what happened. And that way you didn't split the movie up into the three, you know, bits. But, like, the three points of views. But, I don't know. It didn't ruin the movie for me. It was just, like, you know, the nitpicky thing. Like, I wasn't a fan of it. I was not a fan of that. But, yeah, it didn't really do much for me, that whole storyline. But the ending of it. Whew. First off, the, you know, Admiral Holdo, like, turning the ship around, and then Lightspeed sort of missile into all the fleet and just ripped it all apart. And the slow motion, it was like, holy shit. Like, it was amazing. It was so cool to see. I love that. Just like, it just tore the entire fleet apart. It was crazy. Like, how are Lightspeed missiles not a thing? Like, I don't understand that's not a thing. And then obviously the Battle of Crate. With the Death Star battering ram thing. Yet another giant thing that the First Order creates. The walkers and stuff were cool. Definitely not on the Hoth battle level, I don't think. It wasn't. Like, really all those, you know, speeder skiff things did were, you know, go at them, and then they're like, oh, nope, and then they all turn away, and then that was really it. It wasn't much. The coolest part was when the Falcon came in, and they were like zipping along and, like, you know, whipping through stuff, and Rey's shooting the gun, and that was the cool part. But the actual battle itself didn't get cool until, well, the Rose coming in and saving Finn, like the whole Finn scene there, and then obviously Rose saving Finn, that was cool. But wasn't cool until Luke got there. Once Luke got there, then it really hit the mark. But yeah, it's not on the level of Hoth. It was not on the level of Hoth, which is disappointing. I was like, man, I kind of want those skips to go around, try and, you know, pull down the the walkers and stuff. I think it was ruined by the barricade, like the beam thing. Like, if that wasn't there, if you didn't have that stakes of that thing there, and it was just the walkers coming at the base, and they were just gonna pummel the armor of the wall of the door and stuff, that would have been fine. That would have been fine. I think that would have been far better. But they wanted to do the cool beam thing, so yeah. I think that's almost all of it. I'm sorry if I missed some stuff. Like I said, I will probably do you know, a multi-view sort of discussion thing where we can like really like once I get my hand around all of this and the excitement of, you know, seeing it for the first time has kind of calmed down, and I can really, you know, I'm seeing it, probably see it about 3-4 times before I do this video, so I'll really have an idea on what's going on. So we'll definitely really get into it in a later video, which I'll probably do in a couple of days. So I'll let some people actually see it, and then, you know, we can really get into that conversation. But yeah, like I said in the review part, go and see it. If you're watching this now, why the heck are you watching it? You just got spoiled or not. Go and see it. Go and see it. That's all you need to do. But yeah, so it was great. It was great. Ranking wise, like in the Star Wars thing, like I said, I'll probably do that in the, you know, the multi-view one. But yeah. Alright guys, that's it for us. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.
Bye.